I'm Peter Whitmore. I'm 73 years old, and some of you might remember me from a few weeks back. The response to that video was overwhelming, and I want to thank you for that. But today, I need to talk about something I didn't mention then, something more personal, something that changed everything about how I see relationships. I need you to hear this, because what I'm about to tell you could save you from a kind of pain that stays with you for decades. My wife, Susan, and I were married for 41 years. That's longer than some of you have been alive. For most of that time, I thought we had a good marriage. Not perfect, but solid. The kind of marriage people stay in. But here's what nobody tells you about long marriages. You can live with someone for decades and still not really know them. You can share a bed, a home, a life, and still be strangers in the ways that matter most. Susan died 6 years ago from pancreatic cancer, diagnosed in March, gone by July, 4 months from healthy to gone. In those final weeks, lying in that hospice bed, she said something I think about every single day. She said, "Peter, we wasted so much time being right instead of being close." I didn't understand it at first. I was defensive. I thought we had a good marriage. We rarely fought. We were comfortable together. We'd built a life. But that was exactly the problem. We were comfortable, and comfortable isn't the same as connected. For years, Susan would suggest small things, taking a pottery class, going dancing again, staying up late talking like we used to, and I always had a reason not to. I was too tired, too busy, it was too expensive or impractical. I wasn't trying to hurt her, I just thought we had time. I thought those little moments didn't matter. I believed the big things, providing, being faithful, being reliable, were enough. They weren't. I thought love was about grand gestures, about being there in crises, paying the bills, showing up. And those things do matter. But what I didn't understand is that love is built in the tiny, unremarkable moments, the conversations over breakfast, the walks taken for no reason, the way you listen, really listen when your partner tells you about their day. I stopped doing those things slowly, so gradually I didn't even notice. One missed conversation led to another. One "not tonight, I'm tired" turned into 1,000. One "we can do that later" became never. Susan adapted. She stopped asking me to dance, stopped suggesting we take classes together, stopped trying to have deep conversations. She found her own friends, her own activities, her own life. We became roommates who happened to be married, polite, considerate, and fundamentally alone. I didn't see it, or maybe I did and told myself it was normal, that this is just what happens in long marriages. The passion fades, routine takes over, you become comfortable, but comfortable is just another word for complacent. When Susan got sick, everything changed. Suddenly we had a deadline. Suddenly all the things I thought we'd do someday had a very clear expiration date. In those final months, we talked more honestly than we had in 20 years. She told me about dreams she'd given up on, hurt she'd carried silently, and times she felt invisible in her own marriage. One night, about 3 weeks before she died, she told me about a trip she'd always wanted to take, to Scotland. Her grandmother was from there, and she dreamed of seeing the highlands and walking through the villages to understand where she came from. She'd mentioned it to me many times over the years, and every time I dismissed it as too expensive, a bad time, something for retirement. We never went, and now we never would. She wasn't angry when she told me. That's what made it worse. She was just sad and resigned, like she'd accepted years ago that I wasn't going to be the partner she needed. I asked her why she never pushed harder, why she didn't insist. She said, "I didn't want to make you do something you didn't want to do. I wanted you to want to do it with me."
That sentence broke me because she was right. She didn't want obligation. She wanted shared desire, shared excitement, shared care, simply because it mattered to her, and I couldn't even give her that. Here's what I've learned, and I hope you're listening. The biggest threat to your relationship isn't cheating or fighting or some dramatic betrayal. It's indifference. It's taking each other for granted. It's the slow erosion of intimacy that happens when you stop trying. You stop asking questions because you think you already know the answers. You stop making effort because you assume your partner will always be there. You stop prioritizing the relationship because you believe you have time. And one day you wake up next to a stranger, or worse, they're gone, and you never really knew them at all. After Susan died, I found a journal in her nightstand. She'd been keeping it for years. Reading it felt like discovering a person I'd lived with but never truly seen. She wrote about loneliness, about feeling like she was screaming into a void, about small moments that hurt her, times I was physically present but emotionally absent, times I chose work over her, times I was more interested in my phone than in what she was saying. She also wrote about love, about the man she married, about hoping that version of me would come back, about trying to reach me and not knowing how. I was right there, sleeping in the same bed every night, but I might as well have been on another planet. And the part that still kills me is this. It wasn't malicious. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I just got lazy. I thought showing up was enough. I thought providing was enough. I thought not doing anything wrong was the same as doing things right.
Relationships don't usually end because of one explosive mistake. They fade away through hundreds of small, quiet acts of neglect. If you're in a relationship right now, I want you to pause and ask yourself a few honest questions. When was the last time you had a real conversation with your partner? Not about bills, schedules, or what's for dinner, but about dreams, fears, and ideas. When was the last time you did something purely because it would make them smile? Not because it was a birthday or anniversary, but simply because you wanted to. When was the last time you truly looked at them and felt grateful that they're part of your life? If you can't remember, you may be repeating the same mistake I made. Your partner will not be here forever. That may sound uncomfortable, but it's the truth. One of you will go first, and when that day comes, there are no second chances. You won't get to have the conversations you kept postponing. You won't get to take the trips you always planned for later. You won't get to say the things you assumed they already knew. Susan and I had 41 years together, and I squandered far too many of them, choosing comfort over connection, being right instead of being close, being present in body but absent in spirit. Please don't make the same mistake. Love isn't a feeling you experience once and then set aside. Love is an action. It's something you practice every single day in both small and meaningful ways. It's staying curious about your partner even after decades together. It's being willing to try new things even when they feel awkward or inconvenient. It's having difficult conversations when silence would be easier. It's caring about what matters to them, not out of obligation, but because their happiness matters to you. After Susan passed away, people often told me I had been a good husband. They were kind, but they were wrong. I was adequate. I met the bare minimum. I didn't betray her. I didn't hurt her. I didn't leave. But that's a painfully low standard. Being a good partner means actively nurturing intimacy. It means choosing vulnerability, remaining curious, and making an effort even when you're exhausted, busy, or overwhelmed. I didn't do that, and now I carry the weight of knowing I let something precious slip away through simple inattention. Even now, 6 years later, I still think about Scotland. I think about how little it would have cost me to say yes, 1 week of my life, some money, and how much it would have meant to her. I think about the pottery classes, the dancing lessons, the long conversations she hoped for, all the small ways she reached out, and all the times I said not now, maybe later, or no at all. Later never arrived. It never does. If you love someone, if you're sharing your life with another person, don't wait for the perfect moment to show them they matter. Don't assume they already know. Don't take their presence for granted. Ask them about their dreams. Listen to their stories. Say yes to the things they suggest, even if they don't excite you, because strengthening your connection should excite you. Be present. Be curious. Be intentional. One day, you may find yourself where I am, alone, looking through old photographs, reading old words, and realizing you once had everything you needed and didn't recognize its value until it was gone. I'm not sharing this to make you feel guilty. I'm sharing it because you still have time. Your partner, if you have one, is still here. You can still talk. You can still travel. You can still build memories, but you have to choose to do it now. On my desk, I keep a photograph of Susan from our honeymoon in 1972. She's laughing, squinting into the sunlight, her hair caught in the wind, full of life, hope, and possibility. I think about the woman she became, still loving and still beautiful, but carrying a quiet sadness in her eyes that I helped create through years of gentle neglect. Susan was right. We wasted too much time trying to be right instead of being close. Don't waste your time the way I wasted mine. Love the people in your life deliberately and wholeheartedly while you still have the chance. This channel exists to share stories and lessons from people like me. If this meant something to you, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. If it resonated, leave a comment or tap the like button. And if you have a story of your own, something you've learned that could help someone else, there's a form in the description. Fill it out. Maybe next time, your story will be the one that helps someone choose connection.